Group winners on the left, they will be seeded in the draw, and the runners-up across the board on the right will be unseeded in the draw. Richard, I'll give you your take on this and who you fancy. And so impressive last season, Manchester City, maybe not at that height this season, right at this very moment. Do you expect them to be the team to beat, though, when it comes to the spring?
Yeah, I think once De Bruyne gets back in, he just adds that bit of quality to the team. I think he can be the difference to change where City are now to where they want to be. They've obviously got the experience now of winning the competition. They know what it takes to get through it, and I think they'll be the team to beat, and anyone who gets past them will be close to being favourites for it.
Is there anyone in the pack that has looked more impressive than anyone else, or can you kind of throw a blanket over the rest of the contenders?
Yeah, I think obviously it's hard to pass Real Madrid as well. They went 6 out of 6 as well in their group, so they're obviously, them and City, I think, are the two favourites. I think Arsenal.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think Arsenal do some damage in this Champions League. I'm not saying they'll win it, but I think they'll go quite deep in this competition. They've got a decent squad, good attacking players. The way they play suits Europe. I think they're doing quite well this year. Obviously, people have questioned them and whatnot, but I still think Arsenal will do some damage in this Champions League this year. But I think it's between City and Real Madrid, really, for me.
Really? Just City and Real Madrid? And City. You wouldn't think Bayern, with the addition of Harry Kane?
I don't know. Like even the other night there against Man United, they're good, but they're not. I think they're lacking in the centre midfield area. I think Kimmich is on the wane at Bayern Munich. I think Goretzka isn't as mobile as what he once was. Obviously, they've got Musiala in there as well. So I think central midfield, I was really impressed with Kim the other night, centre back. I think he's a super player. Obviously, Kane's goals. But you've seen in the Bundesliga, they're capable of a poor performance.
A bad day at the office, yeah. Let's just wrap up then the teams that finished third across the Champions League groups and will be going down into the Europa League. Now, the bad news for these teams is that they'll have to play an extra qualifying round against the runners-up in the Europa League groups before they actually get to the last 16 of the Europa League. So they are the 8 teams who will drop down. And as you can see, no Newcastle, no Manchester United among them. And that, just to get into a little bit of detail on it, might be bad news for teams aspiring to reach the Champions League next season, when there will be an extra place for the top 2 nations based on European coefficient this season. And obviously with 2 English teams out of European football, that won't help their chances of getting that extra 5th place. We'll deal about all that in due course. But just to wrap up, Richard, it's probably worth mentioning this is the final night of the format that we've known and loved for 20-odd, 25 years, whatever it is now. And it's a completely different format next season. It's one massive table of 36 teams, and it gets pretty complicated after that. Have they made the right move in changing this format that everybody understands and everybody knows and everybody's familiar with for so long?
I think this sort of period of group stages have been poor. They've been quite predictable as they've gone through. So, yeah, maybe it is time for a change and time to move forward and see what next year brings.
Well, we have run out of time for Richard to give us a full explainer on the all the rules and regulations for the new Champions League format. We'll get back to that in due course towards the end of the season, I'm sure.